the past few hours, a historic and unexpected news has been released. Israel and Hamas have reached an unprecedented agreement, a ceasefire that includes a hostage exchange and military withdrawal in Gaza. No one expected such an agreement, especially after the October 7th, 2023, Hamas terrorist attack and Israel's intense response in Gaza. If you are interested in biblical prophecies, you must watch this video until the end, because if this agreement unfolds as we predict, it could be part of Daniel's prophecy coming true. This is crucial because it can help us understand exactly where we are in the divine timeline. Jesus instructed us to look at the fig tree to know when God's kingdom is near. The fig symbolizes Israel. Therefore, when significant events happen in Israel, we must pay special attention. Another key point is that Israel and Hamas are not alone in this agreement. A group of countries is behind it. The United States as the leader, Egypt and Qatar as the main mediators, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Jordan for regional legitimacy, and even the European Union as a potential supporter of reconstruction. This is exactly what Daniel predicted. The leader will make a covenant with many, and in the middle of the week, sacrifice and offering will be stopped. This agreement, which links Israel with several other countries, could be the first part of that prophecy. An interesting and lesser-known fact is that in the Hebrew text, the word used for confirm the covenant is gabar. This word doesn't mean creating a new covenant, but rather strengthening an existing one. Here's where the story gets fascinating. This sudden agreement isn't spontaneous. It is the result of years of negotiations that began in 2020 with the Abraham Accords. These accords, led by Trump during his first term, aim to create diplomatic and peaceful relations between Israel and Arab countries, something unimaginable for decades. And these accords were not just political, they had a religious aspect too. A clear example is the Abrahamic family house in the UAE, where a mosque, synagogue, and church are built together, symbolizing unity among the Abrahamic faiths. Now, if we look at Daniel, the second part of the prophecy becomes more critical. In the middle of the week, the sacrifice will cease. For the sacrifice to stop, a place for sacrifice must exist. This means a temple in Jerusalem must exist. But for the past 2,000 years, no such temple has existed. Israel has planned to build the third temple, but political and religious obstacles have prevented it. Even the required location, the Temple Mount, is under Jordanian control. But an important point, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has openly hinted that Arab countries might agree to the temple's construction in exchange for lasting regional peace and a solution for the Palestinians. If Israel, which is ready, gets the green light, building the third temple could become possible, and Daniel's second prophecy could be fulfilled. But Daniel mentions a week, where each day represents a prophetic year. This means the peace covenant could last 7 years. In the middle of this week, 3.5 years later, the leader will break the covenant and stop the sacrifices. After that, Daniel says, "And on the temple, the abomination that brings desolation will be established." In simple terms, this leader enters the Jewish temple and commits a blasphemous act, signaling the Antichrist in the start of the worst 3.5 years in human history, a period called in the Bible the Great Tribulation. This leader emerges with false peace. In Revelation, he rides a white horse with a bow but no arrows, meaning he gains power not through real war, but through promises of peace. This is exactly what the world craves, and it will trust him. And when global peace is discussed, the biblical warning sounds, not that peace is bad, but false peace foreshadows the Antichrist's rise. Another astonishing point is the connection to Trump. After announcing negotiations, he wrote on his social media, "Strong, lasting, and eternal peace." Daniel and Thessalonians warn about a false peace leader. When people say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes upon them. Trump even proposed dividing Gaza into 12 zones. 12 reminds us of the 12 tribes of Israel, a sign of restoring the ancient kingdom. But Daniel also points to more details. The Antichrist comes from ancient Roman and modern European systems, not elsewhere. He uses existing structures and gains power through covenants and diplomacy, not war. He overthrows 3 leaders among 10, has a human-like appearance and mouth, speaks arrogantly, and deceives the world with false peace. Daniel warns, he has extraordinary power, but it is limited. He persecutes God's saints, but his victory is temporary. The Antichrist even tries to change divine times and laws, empties sacred feasts of meaning, and rewrites God's morality. He leads the world into a fake order, and millions become complicit in this deception without realizing the truth. His reign lasts exactly 3.5 years, as mentioned in Revelation, 42 months. Then he reveals his true identity, breaks the covenant, and stops the sacrifices. This begins the Great Tribulation, as Jesus predicted in Matthew 24. The temple is built and sacrifices resume, but the Antichrist asserts control through his blasphemous actions. In the end, Daniel leaves us with hope. The Antichrist comes, but his days are limited. God ultimately intervenes and ends his reign. Followers must stay vigilant, recognize the signs, and remain faithful to survive this deceptive period and maintain their loyalty. And this is only a small part of the complete divine prophecy timeline. If you want to know the exact order of the end-time events and how judgment occurs at each stage, don't miss the next video.